What's up everyone, Dali here from No Tier Gaming, and today I'm taking a look at the ONOMAT deck that I played earlier this week on video. A lot of people are asking for the deck profile, we need to hit 10 likes on it, so let's take a look at it. So to begin with, we'll go over our hand trap lineup. So this is interesting, I think probably one of the better reasons this deck pretty much works. The hand trap lineup in this deck is able to be really big because you play your deck goes off for very little. Usually if you're just resolving onomatopoeia, you're able to do combo from there and at least end on some interruptions and some interactions. So it allows for very little resources to be committed to pretty much end on boards. And then from there you're able to like consistently pump out boards that are pretty scary. So let's go through the deck and kind of explain everything as it goes. So first off, we have our 3 Ash, 3 Crow, 3 Veiler, 2 Ogre. I think this is fairly optimal for hand trap rate lineup. You could definitely like cut down on maybe Floodgate or Gravedigger Trap Hole or something along those lines, but like, you really want to have kind of your trap cards for Rafflesia. You play Gravedigger to play around Nibiru because this is a rank 4 spam deck. Having Gravedigger now legal in the format with Rafflesia is perfect because Nibiru was destroying me before, but because it's legal now we don't have to worry about it. I think these are the best hand traps. I think I played Nibiru in my replay, or I've played Nibiru a little bit here and there in the main, and it doesn't feel as good as a lot of these other hand traps because you want to just draw a bunch of traps inside your combo because you play change tactics and you can draw 5 cards turn 1 off of that. So you want to make sure your hand traps, if you go first, don't wreck your board by having you Nibiru your own board and giving them like a huge token. So this seems like the most reasonable. They're all pretty easy to use. Crow and Village means multiple times per turn. Ghost Ogre and Ash are both just really strong. Ogre's coming back into the format because it's really only bad against it's really only bad against pure Eldritch, which isn't that popular anyways. And then for the monster count, for the monster, you play 3. For the other monsters, the actual like the win condition of the deck, the Zubaba part, the Onomat part, we play 2 Giant, 3 Glove, 3 Onomatopoeia, and 3 Coat. These are really the only good ones. Didius you could argue for, but in testing it doesn't come up that much, and it can be a brick more often than it's actually good because it locks you out of the battle phase for the turn. So not having a battle phase in a deck that has a lot of big monsters and wants to go in for damage usually isn't the best thing. And then that's all the monsters you play. Some people are like, why don't you play Block Dragon or Analyzer or like Gigantes or anything like that? And then I just think they're bricks a lot of the time. The point of this deck is just to be really consistent and like consistently open hand traps and do stuff. So adding just inconsistency to the deck, it just isn't worth it in my opinion. I have tested all of them. I've played a lot of variants of this deck. What's nice though is that this engine is so small overall. It's like it's 3, 3, 1, and then the engine overall is 18 cards, so you can just have a lot of room for variation in here, and I've tested a lot of the variation. This is what I've come up with so far for the best list. For the spells, we have 3 called by. It's just standard. I mean, you can run Gamma, but I think Desires is too important to play Gamma inside here, so you could argue you could play Gamma over Desires if you prefer it that way. It hasn't come up for me enough to be relevant. 3 called by, Double or Nothing. This is super core. I've been debating 2 of this just because if you banish off Desires, it sucks because summoning out your Utopias with Kaiser is like such a big board presence immediately that it is kind of nice to have. After that are 3 Onomatopoeia. That's pretty standard. One of our Onomatopoeias. So this card is it allows you, whenever Utopia is summoned, you place a high 5 the sky counter on the field spell, and all your monsters gain 200 attack. You can remove 2 to special summon another GOGOGO Zubaba, DODODO, or GODODO monster from the deck, and this is super important for extension. However, it's only a 1-of because it is searchable with Hiccup, and I didn't really want to add more than that because any extras are just gonna be bricks in your hand. 3 pickup, amazing card. That's all there is to say about it. It's just super strong. Being able to search either Para, Onomatopoeia, or Utopia, or Utopia Onomatopoeia is just so good. These are like your core cards of your deck. So yeah, searching for them is really nice. The on-field effect doesn't come up too often. Triple Desires. The deck does kind of run out of advantage at times because you are committing most of your hand to make a rank 4 board, and you need recovery against some decks, especially if you get cleared. So having Desires as draw power and a way to fix your hands is really nice. Obviously it does have its drawbacks, being that you can lose Double or Nothing, or you can lose Floodgate or Gravediggers, but you kind of just have to accept that for the instant power and consistency this card adds. 3 change tactics. When a Utopia monster is XYZ summoned to your field, you can pay 500 life points, draw 1 card. You can only control 1 XYZ change tactics. I'm iffy on this card all the time, but just getting more advantage is so huge, especially when you have like this large hand trap lineup. When I played versus my friend who was playing Combo Eldritch last night when we were testing, the one hand where I drew change tactics, I completely blew him out. He stood no chance because I drew 5 cards and I still made my board, and he's just like, I have to deal with 4 hand traps. I have to deal with 4 hand traps at this point. There's no way I can compete. And then Floodgate and Gravediggers. You don't have to run the Floodgate, you can just run 2 Gravediggers. However, having just 1 Gravediggers can be greedy, but that Floodgate is so strong in so many matchups where if you just like against Adamantipator, if your Rafflesia just sets one of their monsters, it can just be game over from there. So that's the main deck, 41 cards. I think that's fine, just because we play Triple Desire, so... And having Double or Nothing is basically our 41st card, which we just don't want to draw it, so it's not terrible. From there, we play 3 Nibiru, strong hand trap. A lot of people say they don't like Drain Out, but Syndra Elvish is so popular, and this just auto-answers it, and it feels necessary. I do want to fit Lancia, but I think the rest of the side deck is also necessary, so it kind of sucks that you can't play it. But yeah, Nibiru is probably the best hand trap right now versus everything for combo base, especially specifically when you're going second. I wouldn't play going first in here. You're going first, like your monsters, and then also the other hand traps will take care of everything. 3 Dark Ruler. Just really good card. You need it for combo. It's one of the best ways to center combo. Triple Twin. I almost want to main these, but when you play the matchup it's not good against, it's really not good. 3 Evenly and 3 Judgment. Pretty standard stuff here. Just board break, and you play 1 card for going first pretty much. You do side Twin Twisters in versus like Subterrorgeist and Eldritch if you are going first, but other than that, Twin Twisters these are mainly on-roll setting cards, and then 1 Judgment to help you go first. Against like Dark Ruler, which isn't usually that bad. Either Dark Ruler or Evenly are really annoying cards. From there, our extra deck, we really only have 2 spots to mess around with. The rest is almost mandatory in here. We have our 1 Exile Knight and our 1 Giant Hand. You can change these. You can remove one of the Lightnings if you want to play the Caluda build. I just didn't. I wasn't drawing Shade Predicting enough to warrant, or like it. I think it fucks your hands too much, and it takes up a lot of space, so that it's not really worth it. I'd rather have the utility that comes from playing Giant Hand and Axton, which I think are both great cards. The other one you can play is you can play Time Thief Redoer. You can play Redoer if you want to play Gamma. It's really nice. So you have the Lambda and you have Gamma, that's pretty solid. And then the other option is the Light Dragon at Ignister, which is okay. Silent Honor, Archer Castle. All these cards are okay. I just felt like Giant Hand and Axton were the most reliable. They did what you want most often. So these are my choices personally. I played Lightning as my other target for my Utopia Kaiser, because it's a Utopia, meaning it works with Onomatopoeia. Your other option is Utopia Beyond. That's kind of mediocre. Also, going to having Lightning for later turns can be relevant sometimes. And you want the second one so that you can Kaiser still on your turn and still summon 2 monsters once you actually change tactics. So it's necessary pretty much. And then we have our standard Abyss Dwellers cards. That's just amazing versus like everything pretty much. Hope Woven, Dragon, Spider Shark. You play this because it's the only number monster with an engrave effect that's like relevant. Some of them can summon themselves back, but the problem with that is that they weren't properly summoned first, so you're not able to bring them back. This one can summon a different monster, so it's got a pretty good effect. It's the only one that's worth summoning overall, but the fact that Kaiser just puts 2 more big monsters on the board, and it's a 5k beater itself, and it also triggers your draw off change tactics, and it just makes it too strong turn 1 not to play, especially like when you make the Masquerade with it, it just gives you free materials essentially. Utopia, because we're playing actually change tactics. Garbage. Utopia double because it goes into Kaiser, or Utopia per game. The 1 Prime, we could argue against this, saying maybe another Utopia is better, but Prime for the most part has been okay for me. You can also use Utopia Ray instead. It doesn't really matter overall. They're both kind of mediocre. You can play Ray if you want to, but I usually I prefer Prime for the attack boost. For the 10 attack can also be able to clear board. Comes up more often than Ray's effect usually will. And then after that, our double Lightning, as I said, Tornado and Rafflesia, these are all mandatory. And then our extra deck, I only play 3 links, Apollosa, IP, and Unicorn, because they are the most relevant, or at least they have been for me. Unicorn, basically just using Masquerade as a way to extend. I mean, you could argue for Boral Sword, but you have Lightning, you have those 5k bodies that you can summon, you have Utopia double in the main as one of your main combo pieces, so it just hasn't been necessary for me to play Boral Sword personally. But you're going to go more link heavy, but like I said, you really only 2 drop spots here are going to be Giant Hand and Exton, and they both just feel really strong. I don't know if I'd cut either of these for a link, or like I've switched between this and the Light Dragon at Ignister and stuff, but this seems to be correct. And if you guys want to give this a try, I definitely recommend it. There will be a link in the description for the deck list. If you want to, I will do the export crap. So you guys can have a download link here, and you guys just download it when you guys want to try it. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Subscribe. I'll have more gameplays with this deck up. And I also have another deck that I've been playing, the Burst Cups. That's pretty fun, so you guys can see that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.